Let's go. Hey gang, I'm Paul with Stud Pack. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Stud Pack Dream Garage. That pass right there should be the last pass of mud in the garage. About the last week and a half. I've been working on it when I can, not all the time. What I mean by that, making sure my butt joints are about 3 feet wide. My taper joints are a little over 8. They need to be sanded. Everything in here needs to be sanded. But in particular, what I'm looking for, I don't want to see any tape in the corners. All my screw heads are recessed, and this thing is ready for sanding, and then I want to get a coat of paint on this today. Speaking of paint, y'all ran out on Friday. I went to get more primer on Saturday morning. Please tell me y'all primed that thing on Saturday.
Oh yeah.
Y'all did?
Yeah, we did it.
Nice, guys. Let's go check it out. You guys did. Oh man, nice job, guys. Looks beautiful. Can't even tell where you stopped on Friday and where you picked up on Saturday, and that's the way it should be, right? Now tell me, did you guys come here Saturday after I left, or did you wait till Saturday night, make sure you got it done before I showed up?
It was like a Saturday afternoon.
Saturday afternoon? Cool. So we got a lot of questions in the comments on the last video about the texture and why we didn't use texture on this build. To us, texture is kind of a production builder type of thing, right? In a big track home, you just spray all the drywall, so you don't have to get it 100% smooth. Texture covers a lot of sins. You've seen us use it on some of our previous projects, like our remodels, but that's only because we were trying to match the texture in an existing house. We love the smooth look, and we love highlighting the quality work of the drywall underneath. This thing looks amazing. Now, when we were sanding and painting, we noticed 3 spots, Jordan, maybe a few more. This one right here, we had a chunk of something in the roller and it dried, and when we knocked it off, it pulled some of the mud with it. Over here under this window, we got a spot similar to that. Who knows? It was probably like this guy, right? It lines up right with that. Hit right there, we'll patch that. And that's part of priming a building, right? You prime it, you see the cracks, you see the imperfections, so we're gonna fix them. I'm gonna run downstairs, grab some mud, hit these real quick, and then you guys, let's paint that bathroom. So I've got white mud and I've got white primer. When I put this on there, it's gonna be hard for me to know exactly where that was. So one trick I've done in the past is to add chalk for your chalk lines. When you're snapping on chalk line, put some in the mud, it'll tint it blue or red. Don't use white chalk though. But we only have a few here, so I'm just gonna use a little piece of blue tape, and that'll tell me where my patch is. Let's go do this one around the window, Jordan. Rad kind of inspected everything for me. Said there was one over here. Is it right there?
Yeah, it's just a little.
Yeah. That's weird, huh?
Yep.
It's almost like the primer, like the layer of paint peeled off, but I know it didn't do that. I'm just gonna leave it like that. There we go. Boom. Cool, man. Nice job. And we got this one way up here. We thought it was a screw, but it's not. It's kind of like that one over by the bathroom door. Just knocked it off. Nice view from up here.
Camera's having a hard time.
With all the white. All right, bathroom's all sprayed. That took y'all what, 5 or 10 minutes, Jordan?
Easy.
Nice, it looks great. Let's get out of here, let's get back into the big room. Now you were telling me that camera's having a hard time focusing, right? Because it's just one big white background?
Pretty much.
All right, well this is all done. This looks great. And our goal by the end of today is to get a coat of color on the ceiling. It's just white, we call it color. But before we do that, and before we clean our spray equipment, we want to use the primer we have left in that 5-gallon bucket. So this is our setup. We got 2 frames over here on some levelers. Try to get me as level as possible. 1 here in the middle. The board over where Jordan is on the landing. Feel really comfortable on this. So I'm gonna give this a quick sand. We're gonna tape off our 3 little windows, put paper in our boxes, spray our stairway. All right, we're still finding shiners. 1 more right here. Just gonna drive it in with the screwdriver. A little mud on it. Goes away. All right, guys, I just spent like the last hour and a half on the ladder at the top of the stairwell, dialing everything in, every corner, every flat. And I'm gonna tell you, it's like 99.999% perfect. But it really needs to be up here, even though it's way up in a stairway, because we have these 3 windows up here. Even though they're small, we're gonna get a ton of light in here. It's gonna show any defect. We have 3 halo downlights in our ceiling raking down. Didn't want any defects in our drywall. Another thing we're gonna do, this was based on a comment. We're just gonna prime our walls, and once we're done with the tile work, the floors upstairs, moving furniture, then we'll probably finish these, because you know we're gonna bang them up, right? And Jordan and Rad are gonna spray the top of the stairwell. Let's go, bud. What the heck is that, stud pack? We're having so many bugs land in our paint. This is a little, what, mosquito repellent, Jordan?
Yep.
We're gonna see if it works.
It does work.
It's blowing out this way. I don't know why. It should be blowing up the stairs, but let's try it.
Cool. Yeah, it just burns slowly like an incense. It repels mosquitoes.
When you just have one stairway up to a building and guys are working in it and you need something, it's brutal.
Oh,
Got it?
nice. Me, that sander.
Yeah.
Show. So make sure that you don't miss out, just be there. We're taking our shot, bring what you got. We're going all the way to the top. We will hear the sound of 1 million people screaming our names when we're backstage. We'll play loud, surfing the crowd. Everybody's jumping around. Yeah, that's the place where I wanna be. Going on stage, headline on a Saturday night. Quit my job, never wanna have no bar. I just wanna play my rock and roll like they do on the radio. Tommy's got brand new drums, and I still have my old guitar. And John
Did the top half. Now it's time to do the bottom half. We got the light set up. We've got this piece of extra paneling from the exterior. We're gonna put it over the door so we don't get overspray outside. It's about to look awesome.
We're taking our shot, bring what you got. We're going all the way to the top. We will hear the sound of 1 million people screaming our names when we're backstage. We'll play loud, surfing the crowd. Everybody's jumping around. Yeah, that's the place where I wanna be. Going on stage, headline on a Saturday night. Saturday night.
All right, guys, it is the next day and the primer on the stairwell is all dry, and I gotta say it looks fantastic. We are really happy with the way that PVA primer from Sherwin Williams is performing. We love the way it goes on, and it dries super smooth. We can't tell any roller marks, anything like that. And like we said, we're not gonna put any paint on the walls until after we move in. We've already got a little ding here. And
That's
what?
actually, those are bug guts, actually.
Oh, those are bug guts. Yeah, that's another reason why we were sanding, right? We felt like most of the time when we were sanding, we were removing bugs so they didn't get painted into the building. But Jordan and Rad are going to paint upstairs, and while they're doing that, I'm going to be in the garage. Look at this place. It looks like a bomb went off. This is our workshop, kind of our office sometimes, staging. So while they're upstairs painting, I'm going to clean this up because I got to sand all this, and we're going to prime the garage. I don't want all this in my way. Let's head upstairs and show you our next step. It just makes total sense. While I'm working downstairs, we split up. Jordan and Rad are going to put some color on the ceiling. By color, all I mean is pure white. This is not a stock color. They actually mixed it for us. We're still using the emerald from Sherwin Williams. And this is pure white. Like I said, we got it all set up in our sprayer. I gave it a good bath this morning, cleaned the tip. We're going to spray and back roll. Same roller we used before. It's a great system. We're going to stay with it. So Jordan, you guys are all set. I'm going to head downstairs, get to my project. Y'all going to knock this out?
Yeah.
And then I think you want to paint the ceiling in here too, right?
Yeah, rebuild the scaffold and all that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yep.
Cool, man. Holler if you need anything.
All right, gang, we're about to get started spraying. We've got our new roller here. This is the same roller, the same type of roller that we used for the primer, but it's just a brand new one that we're gonna use specifically for the paint color. And we're gonna preload this thing with paint because we don't wanna be rolling dry and then having it load over time. We want it to be nice and consistent. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get the gun. The machine is off, right? So it's on prime. So yep, turn me to spray, Rad. Perfect. And then I'm gonna squeeze the trigger so that I don't get a blast of pressure. Now go ahead and turn it on, brother. Yep. Go. Nice and easy flow. And then I'm gonna load that up. Get some in the bottom there. And now Rad's just gonna take the roller and he's just gonna load it up with paint.
Oh yeah.
Nice, dude. That way we start loaded, we start with a consistent base. And we think that's a great idea. And they do make bags for these types of buckets, but Dad loves cleaning buckets, so we're just gonna spray right on the bucket and let him clean it later. All right, let's get started.
First color, whole build. Here we go. Dude, that is some nice paint, dude.
All these stupid bugs, dude.
They love the
Sorry, Jimmy.
All right, guys, you told me y'all were done. Let's check it out. Let's get ready for the big reveal. Did y'all even do anything? It looks exactly the same. I better check the paint. I don't even know if y'all did any work. I was down there working hard. I bet y'all didn't do anything. I guess you did put some paint on the wall. So what'd you do? You had some landmarks? How did you know where you painted and where you didn't?
Yeah, I mean, it was really tough. A lot of good comments in our previous video about tinting the primer. Just a little bit, gotta say, would have saved me a ton of headache here. So we'll definitely keep that in mind from now on. And anybody who's watching this video, if you plan on putting white color on top of white primer, tint that primer, man. Tint it.
Just a little bit of gray, right?
So yeah, I was using landmarks. So what I would do is I would go from like that light box. The camera's gonna have a hard time focusing. I would go from like that box
to that box, and I would just do that, and then I would go from there to there, and there to the end of the wall. For this section here, I would use that line, extend it, and then go down and up. I just had to do my best, and I think I did okay, but it was painting blind essentially, so.
Well, it's really warm and humid in this room.
Oh my gosh.
It feels like a sauna. And then when you go downstairs, it feels like you're walking into a walk-in cooler, right? So while y'all have been working up here doing nothing, I've been downstairs. I kind of feel like you can see what I was doing, but maybe not.
Yeah, you can look forward when you're talking. You have a mic, so you're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't fall down.
Yeah, they know what you look like.
All right. So I got this side almost sanded. You can definitely tell. We had a lot of comments in the previous video about this guy. Got a sneak peek of it in some of the shots, so let me talk to you about this. This is one of our secret weapons on how we get a great drywall job. Make it smooth, right? So the story behind this, everybody knows and loves these guys, right? So I had a job in Baton Rouge before we moved to Texas. I had 2 rooms to totally skim coat and sand. Cathedral ceiling, I was dreading it, did not want to use this. Because what always happens with me on this tool, I'm sanding and I'll get to a point and it'll flip and the wing nuts dig in and ruin the nice smooth mud. And it's full of dust, right? It makes a lot of dust and just a lot of other things about it I don't like. My dream was to get one of the motorized sanders, but those things are a ton of money. So this was kind of a cool compromise. Currently, the price is $150 online. We'll leave a link. Check it out. I think you're going to like it. But it comes with everything you see here. It's got integrated vacuum, hooks to my shop vac. You have a little flexible hose there, so it's really maneuverable. In other words, you're not fighting this stiff hose. It's got a little port where you can adjust the suction right there. So you can actually feel it sucking itself to the wall when you're overhead or on a wall like that. Of course, different lengths, you can change those. So I've got a solid sanding pad on there right now. Coming over to the box and I'll show you what else it comes with. It comes with everything you need, but it also has this one that's perforated. So it has a mesh. Woo! So the vacuum just pulls right through there, it works really good. Comes with even a rectangular one, rectangular pads, all kind of attachments for your vacuums. I really like it. As you can see, I'm pretty clean. Even though I've been doing the garage, my nose is even clean, but that's what I use to get my drywall super dialed in. Now I will say, I gotta come back in the corners with a block and get my corners. I like using a light up there, I'm kinda anal about that, but I really like to get the corners nice. And this part of the block, I call that a safe edge. Come over here, Jordan, let me move this ladder. And this is kind of an issue with that other sanding pole. Whenever you're sanding a corner, this side, this narrow side, tends to make a gouge here, right? You experience that, Jordan? So I do it like this. I put that unsanded edge, what I call a safe edge, like that. So I'm only sanding there, and then I'll do it that way, so I'm only sanding there. Takes a little time, but Jordan appreciates my hard work.
It looks great.
It looks really good. Can't wait to see the garage with paint on it. Let me finish this, because the goal tomorrow is to spray this, right?
Right.
Let's get it done. All right, guys, we're going to show you how that sander works. We have a butt joint right here. Got a big glob of drywall there. We definitely want to feather everything out. And I got a gouge right here. Looks like something got dragged across my mud when it was wet. I'm going to try to take that out. Yo, Red, you want to hit that vacuum?
Yep.
Look at that. 3 passes, it's already gone. And that's about it, guys. It's looking really good. I'm going to try to hit this groove right here. Don't know if I can get all that out. Let's see what I can do. It's pretty deep. I might have to patch that, but you get the idea. And I was going to say very little dust, but you usually get some dust around here, but it works great. I don't even need to wear a mask. Now in a previous drywall video, in fact, it was that corner right up there. I did it with my 6-inch blade and did 2 passes on 2 separate days. Got a lot of comments. Somebody needs to tell Paul about a corner trowel. Well, I actually have one, and you can see how much I use it because the label is still on there. A couple of reasons I don't like it, but there's one reason down here that we can show you up close and personal. See, we got this crack right here. Is that showing up, Jordan?
Yep.
That's because this inside radius put so much mud, it cracked. With my blade, with my 6-inch blade, when I make 2 passes, I get a nice crisp inside corner instead of that radius corner.
Yeah, that looks horrible.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to sand it out. I don't have a lot of faith in it, but if we still get a little crack there, we can put some big stretch in it and it's gonna be great. You want me to just try it while you got the,
Might as well, yeah.
while we're rolling? Big glob right there, and that's because I came up from the bottom with this trowel and then came down and had to lift off. But it sands really easy, guys. Look at that. Not a big deal, but I don't know if it's going away, Jordan, or if I'm just filling it in with dust. I say we just leave it and paint it. The paint's gonna bond with the drywall dust and make its own paste, right? I like that.
Cool. Yep. We're really at the point now where those types of things, we just gotta say, screw it.
And it's a garage.
All good. Stud Pack paint crew. Yeah, the hard part is that we are not going to know how good it looks until we get some light in here, but we think we did a pretty good job.
End of the day, we'll find out.
Best mover of the day. Best scaffold mover in the whole nation.
All right, guys, Jordan and Rad got 2 coats of ceiling paint upstairs. It looks awesome. We want to get a coat of primer in the entire garage. I've been sanding all morning. It's ready. So we're trying to cover the doors so the overspray doesn't blow outside onto our finishes outside, all over my tools and all over my truck. As soon as we get the plastic up, the wind changes direction, comes this way like a sail and pulls it down. So I think we're actually just going to use this drywall right here, stand it up like a temporary door to block the wind, and see how it goes. Worst case, if it's too dark in here, we'll rig up some lights, but we got to get this thing painted today. That's better. Got 2 pieces of drywall screwed around to the wood frame. In the middle, we got this extra piece of hardy. We're going to seal that up. On the other side, we stuck with the plastic, but the staples weren't holding, so we had some extra battens left over. Got some wood ones and some hardy ones. We just screwed it to the wood. It acts like a big clamp. That's not going anywhere. Got kind of a doorway here in the middle if we got to get out fast. So, Jordan, I've been spending like 3 days prepping this. I'm ready to see some paint. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, guys, this is one epic looking garage. I can't wait to see till it's all finished. I love the way the primer looks the next day, right? You think you missed a bunch of spots, but you come in the next day and it looks great. But George's not gonna be able to park in here until the main house is finished, because this is actually gonna be our workshop. So we're not too concerned about getting the garage completed. What we really wanna do is get the upstairs completed so he can move in upstairs while we build the main house. Follow me on up, let's pull the plastic off those windows and see what it looks like in this beautiful Texas sun. Let's start with this door. Man, y'all did a great job stapling this. There we go.
Is that dust or paint on the top?
Dust.
Ooh, get some breeze in here.
Yeah, your little gasket method worked great. All right, guys, you've seen the windows, you've seen us prime, but you haven't seen the windows and the primer together. Check it out. Look how great it looks. No more drywall. This morning sun, this afternoon sun's pouring through these windows, raking across the ceiling, which, by the way, has 2 coats of finish color on top of 1 coat of primer. And from where we stand, I can't see any imperfections, and the walls look just as good. And the walls are just 1 coat of primer. You know, Jordan, we could probably leave it just like that and it would be fine. In fact, I think I lived in houses where they did just that, right? We're trying to get Jordan in here by the summertime. Of course, it's the beginning of April. I think we can pull it off, bud. Now that the painting's done, we can move on to all the other finishing details, upstairs, downstairs, and outside. Can't wait for move-in day. Got a ton of stuff, ton of videos coming up. Super excited, guys. Can't wait to show you all that. That's gonna be a wrap for this video. If you want some Stud Pack merch, head on over to bunkerbranding.com. They will hook you up. Check us out over on Instagram at StudPackOfficial. Don't forget to subscribe. And why don't you give yourself another coat of primer to that like button. Sand it for us. You won't regret it. Smash it, and we'll see you on the very next Stud Pack video.